Have you ever found yourself in the following situation? During a walk in nature, you come across a beautiful stone on the ground. You pick it up to examine it more closely, and after the examination, you either throw it away or keep it as a souvenir. But was that beautiful stone a gem? Have you ever thought about throwing away a gem that is valuable enough to fill your pocket with money? Well, as hard as it is to find a valuable gem by accident, you should know that it's possible. Because in case you didn't know, there are dozens of real stories that would take 2 full videos to tell if I were to mention them here. So to prevent this from happening to you, I'm going to show you 7 simple tips for identifying gems, even if you know nothing about the subject. In other words, after watching this video, you'll be able to tell for sure if a stone is valuable or not. So if you like the idea, this video is for you. Because these tips are practical and homemade, which means you don't need expensive and sophisticated equipment or even our gemology ebook for beginners. But if you want to check it out, just go to the first link in the description to apply the knowledge and start identifying the stones you find out there. To be very direct and cut through all the bullshit. First, sort the stones you think might be valuable by type, texture, shape, size, and color. If you have more than one type of stone, organizing them into categories will make the identification process easier in the next steps. If you only have one type of stone, simply move on to the next step. This is the process of comparison. Even if you don't know anything about gemstones or are a complete beginner, you can find out if your stone is valuable by comparing it to other gemstones such as diamonds, tourmalines, emeralds, aquamarines, topazes, rubies, and garnets. And you don't need physical specimens. Start by searching the internet for images of these stones. Once you've found the images that most closely resemble the stone you found, start looking for videos, preferably high-resolution videos, so you can see the details, such as luster, shape, texture, and compare them to yours. Don't just look at the color, but pay close attention to where your stone may be broken. Notice if it is translucent, as this will help you in the identification process. Diamonds, for example, are rarely larger than the nail on your little finger, and regardless of their color, diamonds have a distinctive metallic luster and unmistakable clarity. Tourmalines, for example, come in a variety of colors and are often found in tubular shapes like this one. Note that they have vertical grooves on the sides, so if you find a stone like this, it could be a tourmaline. Emeralds, on the other hand, are recognizable by their intense green color, usually with black or whitish inclusions, and are usually found in canyons of solid rock or gravel, depending on the region. Aquamarine is another mineral characterized by its blue-green color, often associated with quartz. Some people may even confuse blue topaz with aquamarine, just as garnet is confused with ruby, but these are still gems that need to be compared to other specimens to be more certain. Even diamonds depend on characteristics such as clarity and color to have value. In other words, if you find a ruby, for example, it must be very red and pure to be valuable. This is because many rubies and diamonds found in nature are of very poor quality, which means they are only suitable for industrial use and are therefore worth less. Dark, opaque stones are less valuable, even if they are of a valuable type. But does that mean you should despair and give up your search for gems? Absolutely not. Quite the opposite. If you find a very poor quality, ugly and opaque diamond, you can be sure that there are other diamonds of superior quality in the same area. That's why it's worth going back and looking for more if possible. For a gem to be valuable, it must be clear and brightly colored. Valuable stones have a high degree of clarity and intense color. Even if you find a ruby, for example, it must be very red and pure to be valuable. Stones that are dull or opaque are less valuable. That's why it's very important that you explore the place where you found the stone to look for better quality stones so that you can make even more money. You don't have to, but if you want to make your life easier, use our Gemology for Beginners digital book, which is ideal for those just starting out. You can learn more about the characteristics of gemstones and how to identify and value your findings. And don't just be enchanted by the reflective luster of a crushed stone. There are quartz crystals that are very beautiful and captivating, but quartz is the second most abundant mineral in the world, which means you won't make much money unless you sell tons of quartz. However, if you found a diamond and not quartz, the sparkle of a diamond is pretty hard to mistake, and watching some example videos on the internet will help you a lot. Of course, in order to sell it, you must take it to a jeweler to have it tested and certified, but seeing examples will prevent you from being fooled. In addition to the characteristics already mentioned, there are other physical properties that can help you identify a gemstone if you need them. You can use the Mohs scale to judge the hardness of your stone. Diamonds, for example, have a maximum hardness of 10, and an interesting test can be to use a piece of sandpaper if you suspect you have a diamond in your hands. If it scratches or wears away, it's not a diamond. In addition, gemstones generally have specific densities. This means that weighing the stone and comparing it to the typical density of known gemstones can be useful. You can also perform refraction tests because some gemstones, such as diamonds and emeralds, have high refractive indices, which cause them to shine brightly. Refractive tests can be done with special instruments, but there are also several tutorials here on YouTube with homemade refractive tests. The imperfections of your stone should also be considered, as many gemstones have natural inclusions and imperfections that can aid in identification. For example, emeralds often have small cracks or inclusions that are natural and can be used to distinguish them from synthetic or fake stones. But if you're still not sure, it's best to consult an expert. Gemologists or experienced prospectors can provide accurate identification and assess the quality and value of the stone. Look for gemological laboratories, jewelry stores, and museums in your area. Contact them and ask if they offer identification services. But that's not all, because now that we've gone through the whole theoretical process, let's move on to practical examples to make this process even clearer. Imagine you found a greenstone and you want to know if it's an emerald. Follow these steps. First, compare it to pictures of emeralds, looking at factors such as the green color, the presence of inclusions, and the shape of the stone. Use a hardness test to see if the stone scratches glass and quartz crystals. Glass has a hardness of 5, quartz has a hardness of 7, and the emerald has a hardness of 7.5 to 8. Then check the intensity of the green color and the clarity of the stone. High-quality emeralds have a deep green color and few visible inclusions. Do the same with any gemstone you find lying around. For example, if you find a translucent bluish stone and want to know if it's an aquamarine, compare it to pictures of aquamarines, noting the blue-green color and the shape of the stone. See if the stone scratches the glass and is scratched by a steel knife with a hardness of 5 to 6. Test the refractive index if you can, because aquamarine has a specific refractive index, and you'll have a good idea of what kind of mineral it is. But if you don't have access to an experienced prospector or geologist in your area, you can learn all of this in more depth from the comfort of your own home with our Gemology for Beginners ebook. Just click on the first link in the description of this video or in the attached comment. Also, if you haven't found any gemstones yet and want to start this incredible and therapeutic hobby that keeps you in touch with nature, watch this video to learn how to find gemstones in the rivers in your area. Let us know what country you're watching from. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Good luck, Gem Hunter.